When I first started looking at a new grill, the biggest fear was that familiar sting of buyer's remorse. You see a cheap, heavily discounted unit, you think you're saving a bundle, and then a week later the burners start sputtering, the lid won't stay closed, and the whole thing feels like a paperweight. That hesitation is why I spent a few evenings reading forums, scrolling through owner photos, and actually watching a couple of backyard cookouts to see what a solid, mid-range gas grill should really do. If you're sitting on the fence because you don't want to repeat a bad purchase, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Napoleon Rogue Pro 625 is positioned as a serious step up from the entry-level patio grill, but it isn't trying to be a commercial-grade beast either. It slots into the premium backyard niche. You have space for a 5-burner, you want enough cooking surface for a family and a few friends, and you're willing to spend a little extra for features that actually matter when you fire it up for a weekend barbecue. The first thing I noticed, just by looking at the spec sheet, is that the main cooking area is a comfortable 3,418 inches, which translates to about 620 square inches of direct fire space. That's big enough to lay out a whole slab of ribs on one side, a tray of vegetables on the other, and still have room for a couple of burgers or hot dogs without crowding. The extra real-world benefit comes from the layout of the 5 stainless steel grates. They're spaced just right for even heat distribution, and the stainless steel means you won't be dealing with rust spots after a few seasons of occasional rain. One of the features that actually separates the Rogue Pro from a lot of its competition is the infrared side burner. In theory, an infrared burner gives you a super hot, consistent sear that regular gas burners struggle to hit. In practice, I found it perfect for the occasional steak night or when you want to give chicken thighs that caramelized crust without overcooking the interior. I set the side burner to its highest setting and threw a thick ribeye on the grate. Within a minute the surface was sizzling like a restaurant griddle, and the steak developed a brown crust while staying pink inside. The side burner also proved handy for keeping sauces warm or quickly boiling a pot of corn on the cob while the main burners handled the main course. It's a small convenience that adds up over a season of grilling. The design choices around the control knobs and lighting also speak to the everyday user. Napoleon gave the burners white lit knobs that stay visible after the sun goes down, which is a subtle but welcome detail when you're flipping burgers in the early evening. The knobs themselves turn smoothly and don't feel flimsy, so you can dial in low heat for delicate fish or crank up to high for that rapid sear without hunting for the right position. The stainless steel cooking grates are another practical win. They stay hotter longer than porcelain emerald options, which means less flare-ups when you're grilling fatty cuts, and the cleaning process is straightforward. A quick scrape with a stainless brush and a spray of vegetable oil, and you're ready for the next round. Now, no grill is perfect, and the Rogue Pros have a couple of trade-offs that matter if you're a particular kind of buyer. First, the overall footprint is larger than many of the compact 5-burner models on the market. If you have a modest patio or a tight corner in your backyard, you'll need to measure carefully. The unit sits on a fairly wide base to accommodate the side burner and the large cooking surface. It also means you'll need a stable, level surface. The legs are adjustable, but you'll want to spend a few minutes leveling it before you start cooking to avoid any wobble when you're moving heavy pans around. Second, the price point, while justified by the build quality and the infrared burner, sits above the average for a standard 5-burner gas grill that lacks any fancy extras. If you're only looking to grill a couple of burgers on the weekend and don't care about a side sear station, you could probably find a cheaper alternative that meets your basic needs. Finally, the grill does not come with a built-in rotisserie, which some competing brands include at a similar price tier. If you love slow-cooking whole chickens or roasts on a spit, you'll have to invest in an aftermarket rotisserie kit or look elsewhere. So who should seriously consider the Rogue Pro 625? If you're a backyard chef who likes to experiment, think searing steaks, grilling a spread of vegetables, and maybe tossing a few kebabs on the side burner while the main burners handle a slab of ribs, this grill gives you the flexibility to do it all without juggling multiple appliances. It's also a solid choice for families that entertain regularly. The large cooking area reduces the need to shuffle food around, and the durable stainless steel grates hold up under repeated high heat cycles. People who